Throughout The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Link has tons of powerful weapons at his disposal. While most weapons will eventually break, there are a few items that stand out from the rest. This is the top 5 most powerful items in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 5. The SHEIKAH Slate is Link's main tool within Breath of the Wild. From the moment Link receives it when he first wakes up in the Shrine of Resurrection, he obtains all the necessary runes for it found on the Great Plateau. These runes replace the need for all other items Link would need for progression, because the SHEIKAH Slate and its runes are all Link needs to take on any shrine or divine beast. So with it, the game opens up entirely from the beginning, allowing Link to choose any path fit for him. The concept behind this item, replacing standard traditional items Link would obtain as he progressed throughout previous games, makes Breath of the Wild's world feel completely open from the very beginning. You feel as nothing within this game's world can stand in your way with this item. It's Link's guidance to save Hyrule, his companion for his lonely journey. Though outside of guiding Link, the SHEIKAH Slate also gives Link a set of weapons to face evil with. From the remote bombs, which are used to blast enemies from afar, the magnesis, which can manipulate your surroundings to help you in battle, the Cryonis that can create ice blocks to help shield Link or guide him through water, or the stasis, which outside of launching objects far away, can also completely freeze an enemy in place for a short while when upgraded. All these tools are a huge help to give Link the power needed to face any obstacle he is against, and you truly realize the impact of these items when taking on the Master Trials, as you take on these trials with your inventory completely emptied, only with the SHEIKAH Slate to start out with. The SHEIKAH Slate is such an interesting concept to the series as a whole, giving Link a wide variety of things in just one item. I mean, it can even take selfies where Link doesn't have to hold the camera himself. It just positions itself and snaps. Talk about magic. Makes me wonder why Purah had to snap that photo of the champions way back. Is Link just a master at taking selfies? It can also store photos and info of every weapon, enemy, animal, and item found within the game, giving a great way to learn about the many things that inhabit Hyrule, as it is literally the key item to help Link recover his lost memories. And really, without the SHEIKAH Slate, Link would have never had access to any SHEIKAH shrine or control of any divine beast. So this item was really the key to everything. It was a device designed by the SHEIKAH of old, but a key item for the hero of new. While it doesn't exceed in its damage output, without the SHEIKAH Slate, Link wouldn't have gotten very far in his second attempt to save Hyrule. The SHEIKAH Slate is such an important item within the game, changing the formula as a whole, making it one of the most powerful items within Breath of the Wild. Number 4. The Hylian shield has been the most iconic shield for Hyrule's hero. It has been a reoccurring shield throughout the series. Being established before the creation of Hyrule itself, Link has been known to use this trusted shield to protect him from evil. And in Breath of the Wild, the Hylian shield is no different. In a game where everything from swords, bows, to shields break, the Hylian shield is really appreciated within this game. As with every other shield within the game, their lifespan won't last that long, but the Hylian shield on the other hand, holds its worth as Hyrule's most iconic shield. A shield fit to be named after its land and its goddess. Fittingly, it is obtained within Hyrule Castle, with the Hinox guarding its chest. And once obtained, prepare to say goodbye to any other shield within the game, as the Hylian shield's durability is like no other. You will probably assume it will never break with how long it takes to crack. Sadly, like every other shield, it will eventually break, but luckily, if broken, it can be repurchased from an NPC known as Granti at Terrytown, if the Terrytown quest is complete. Though with how long it takes to break, you will be satisfied with the use you got from it. You have to seriously put the Hylian shield through hell to eventually notice it break. That's what makes the Hylian shield so powerful, as it is the best shield to use once obtained. It is the safest shield to use when parrying strong attacks like Guardian Beams, as even its parry damage does an insane amount in return. And if you happen to accidentally block the attack instead of parrying it, with how durable the shield is, you don't have to worry about it breaking anytime soon. The shield is so sturdy, you'll never feel bad blocking any attack with it, as you know it can take the damage. It's also the perfect shield to take surfing on rough terrain with its super high durability. And with the option to repurchase one after it breaks, makes it the safest and most powerful shield within Breath of the Wild. Number 3. Obviously, the Master Sword was going to be on this list. With it being the most reliable weapon within the game, Breath of the Wild makes you realize how important the Master Sword really is, as it's the blade to seal darkness, a blade that powers up when near Calamity Ganon's evil, making it deal twice as much damage. And unlike every other sword that will eventually break for good, once the Master Sword is broken, after 10 minutes it will restore itself to be usable again. While the idea of it breaking seems lame, as it's never been done before in a Zelda title, the concept of having every other item break and not having the Master Sword ever break would make every weapon after getting the Master Sword completely obsolete. So to balance that out, when the Master Sword eventually breaks and goes on cooldown, Link must switch to other weapons until it restores. But even with having to wait, knowing that you are guaranteed to have the Blade of Evil's Bane back up in a short while makes it worth the wait. And if the Master Sword's base damage and durability seems too low, you could always upgrade it even more. This being through the Master Trials, with each trial increasing the blade's power until reaching its full power, allowing the Master Sword to glow at all times, dealing twice as much damage and lasting much longer before going on cooldown. This makes the Master Sword the safest and strongest weapon when against any tough enemies, and as when coupled with the Hylian shield, Link can take on any enemy without fear. Number 2. What can be more powerful than the Blade of Evil's Bane? Well, in Breath of the Wild, the Ancient Arrows is sure one of them. The Ancient Arrows is one of Hyrule's most dangerous items. With one shot, you can send even a Lionel to the Shadow Realm. It is a weapon designed to destroy other ridiculous pieces of insanely powerful tech that the SHEIKAH created, the Guardians, as even when hitting them just once within their eye, will cause the machine to completely malfunction and explode, destroying the Guardian. It is a devastating weapon that was created by the SHEIKAH that is used best on the SHEIKAH's other creations. They can be purchased from Robbie after helping him reactivate his cherry over in the Akala Tech Lab. While they do cost a lot and consume many Guardian parts to make, these arrows are best used when caught in any sticky situation. Pretty much any non-boss enemy will be completely obliterated from just one shot of this item. Just make sure not to miss them, as each shot counts. The Bow of Light and the Light Arrows are also another strong form of range damage. It gives Link infinite arrows and durability to shoot as many times as he wants, with the distance being the furthest any bow could shoot. While it can only be used during the final boss fight, you can obtain the Twilight Princess version of the Bow of Light. This is obtained through the Princess Zelda amiibo, and this version of the Bow of Light can be used anywhere, even on the final boss battle, with it also having unlimited arrows, but will eventually break and does only half the damage. Regardless with how powerful this item is, it is at least worth an honorable mention on the list. Number 1. Now, what could possibly be more powerful than an arrow that can send one to the Shadow Realm? Well, an item that is known to kill anything, and I mean anything, in one hit. That is the one-hit Obliterator. The one-hit Obliterator sure deserves the number 1 spot on this list. Get it? Pun aside, this item will cause any enemy hit by it to die in one hit, but at the cost of having its wielder be at the risk of dying in one hit as well. It pretty much saps all the life force within you if you want to use it as a weapon. Link only gets to use this weapon in the Champion's Ballad quest, with taking on his trial within the Great Plateau. While it does cause you to be completely defenseless, you realize the brute strength of being a glass cannon. As long as you hit the enemy first, you're good to go, they're dead. So if used right with good positioning, no enemy is a match for Link. Sadly, you can only use this during the trial, but it makes sense and why, because even though it leaves Link with no HP in return, the power of being able to destroy any enemy in one single hit makes it too overpowered to explore Hyrule with. And while this weapon is a high risk, high reward sort of item, its high reward sure outdoes its high risk. It really makes you wonder why the SHEIKAH created such a powerful item. Was this weapon only created to be used in a trial as it's too risky to be used elsewhere? I mean, with it draining all of your life force, is this weapon too powerful for mortal use? The concept of this item existing is really interesting, and while there isn't too much lore about it, we know that it was once created by the SHEIKAH, resembling the 4 divine beasts that protect Hyrule. It is a weapon that has no match in power, but it is also a huge risk for its wielder. Overall, we can be assured that this is the most powerful weapon Link lays his hands on in Breath of the Wild. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Breath of the Wild has so many unique and fun ways to deal with combat, from the champion abilities, SHEIKAH SLATE, and all the different weapons to choose from. Link truly feels ready to face evil with his arsenal in this one. As much as I love the traditional items from previous Zelda games, I really love the take Nintendo went with Breath of the Wild, and I hope they continue and improve on this sort of concept. Regardless, let me know what your favorite powerful item is within the game, and hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. If so, be sure to leave a like. As always, I've been ZeldaMaster, and I'll see you all in the next one.